guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is yet another FOMO list, like my FOMO list for February. I've done one of these videos in January too, where I am talking about the things that came in February that absolutely excited me and they are going into the wish list. Some of them I've already purchased, some of them are going in the wish list, and some of them I added it to the wish list thinking that let me see how I feel about it after a point of time, and Lord behold, some of them I've actually forgotten too. So if you guys want to see what are my list and which of them have actually just exited the list and which of them have already purchased, then please keep on watching. Okay, so let's dive into our February wish list, and then I'm also going to touch the things that I had in the list, in the wish list for January, which I'm still thinking about or I've forgotten about. Okay, so let's start off with the February one. The first thing that is on my wish list is the Cosmic Beauty The Lovers palette. Now I've already done like a duping the vibes kind of video with the Lovers palette where I actually recreated the look too, and I was thinking about like what shades would I be interested in, and I did share like what color stories are appealing to me and which probably I can achieve with the things that I already have in my collection. I have several of those color stories. I feel like the Chamonix Après-Ski palette as well as the Snow Angel palette from Simply Posh Cosmetics, all those palettes are pretty much on the same color story vibes, and I feel like I can definitely get a very similar looks. And if I am leaning towards to more like green blue kind of looks, the Singe Beauty palette, Galactic Visitor palette is very close. So I feel like that can be out of my list. I definitely don't need to buy another colorful pastel tone palette, which I would not use in my day-to-day life. So that is out of my list. Let's talk about Rare Beauty Liquid Bronzer. This is a product that I can definitely see myself like grabbing towards. I love Rare Beauty's cream bronzer. I know that they can do bronzer tones very nicely. I have been very intrigued by their liquid bronzers, and I feel like this can stay in my wish list and I can see myself grabbing for it when the Sephora sale comes or something like that. But it's still gonna be in my wish list. The third thing that was on my wish list was the Cheeryup Fleeting Life palette. Now I've already done a video on my channel and this palette stays right in center on my vanity because I have absolutely loved, and I've purchased this. That's why it's in my collection. I could not purchase this. This is like my birthday gift to me. By the way, by the time you're seeing this video, my birthday is already over. My birthday was on 23rd, and I felt like if I have to gift one palette, and this is the palette that I was like waiting for a long time, and this color story definitely spoke to me, and you knew that I definitely wanted to test out more K-beauty brands. So I am very happy with this purchase. I'm just sad that I did not purchase this earlier. Okay, I am very happy with this purchase, so I definitely 100% would recommend this palette. Next thing that was on my wish list was Dede Signature's Shattered Hearts palette. Now I did not buy this palette. Dede Signature is one of the brands that is on my wish list to try this year, but I feel like the Shattered Hearts palette was a lot more like pink purple color story, which I have over and over in my collection. I feel like if you have Bella Beauty Bar's Dead Roses palette, you can get very similar vibes to it. There are so many palettes that can give you like that pinky purpley effect on your eyes, and I don't feel like if I'll buy the Dede Signature Shattered Hearts palettes in my collection, it would add anything to my collection. So I'm waiting for the apt palette to buy from Dede Signature, but that can go out. This Shattered Hearts palette can go out of my wish list. The next thing is also from Rare Beauty, and this is the Soft Pinch Bouncy Blush. And I'm particularly interested in the shade Worth It. That looks like a very everyday terracotta-y shade, which can go with like my warmer tone, summer tone looks. This came and it went out of stock within no time, and this is, I think, relaunching in March. So I'll keep my eyes on it, and I'll definitely I've already put it in my wish list. So this is something that I can see myself grabbing for like in Sephora sale or something like that. So I'll keep that in my wish list, and I feel like that one shade I think is a good purchase for me. The next thing that is on my wish list was Odens Eye. Actually, Odens Eye came out with a new collection, like a Valentine's Day collection, which is the Love Language palette, as well as their lip glosses. Now, I am actually more than the palette. I'm interested in the lip gloss in the shade Kisses. I felt like that shade, it can do wonders for those mauvey, purpley, blue tone looks. You know how much I love my mauves and purples on me. I really love that color story, and I feel like more than the palette, I'm interested in that lip gloss shade in Kisses. So if I am buying anything from Odens Eye in future, I'll definitely see to put the Kisses lip gloss in my collection. I feel like I've seen Kisses on so many different skin tones and it looks absolutely lovely on everybody. So that is still in my wish list, but the palette is going out of my wish list because I feel like, again, it is more of like a pinky purpley color story, which is right up my alley, but I do have a lot of palettes with that color story, so it's not adding to my collection. So that is going out of my wish list for now. The next thing, this actually just bumped up my queue in my YouTube, and this is the Fwee, I hope I'm saying it correctly, this is the Fwee blush and lip pots. Now, apparently this is a very viral product and I was living under a rock and I didn't know about it. And then I started seeing these swatches of these like pots, which can be used as a lip product as well as blush product, and they blur out like the cheeks. You don't know how much I love a good matte blurred out cheek, and that looks right up my alley, and I could not help myself. And then I was waiting for it for like a week or something after putting this in the wish list, and then they came out with like a Valentine's Day sale, and I was like, this is the time to get it. So I bought 2 shades. This is not landed up in my collection as yet. Obviously, if I'll get it, I'll definitely do a video on it, like in a get ready with me or a dedicated video. I'll do something about it, but I'm very excited to get that in my collection. So that is already purchased. I bought 2 shades, I think Chilling and Faded. Those were the 2 shades that were calling out to me, and I'm waiting to get that in my hands. The next thing on my wish list was One Size Base Thinner. Now this looks I feel like it looks like a mix of like a thinning skincare product mixed with like a glowing, oh my gosh, can you imagine this breaking? Mixed like with a glowy product. So I feel like if you can imagine these 2 products together, that's how that One Size Thinner base thinner looks like. I did not buy it, but it is definitely a very, very unique product when I think about it, and I definitely can see myself grabbing it for a sale price. I'm not in a hurry to buy it, so it's gonna stay in my wish list, but it definitely intrigues me, and the reviews that I've seen, it definitely piques my attention. So that's still gonna stay in my wish list. The next thing that is on my wish list is the Blend Bunny Beauty Below palette. Now, this is a palette, I feel like if I take the packaging away, then it doesn't appeal to me. I feel like the thing that is attracting me towards this palette is the price point. The thing that the palette is magnetic and it is Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and the packaging. The packaging is stunning. Wonderful. It is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful. I love Blend Bunny mattes, and I feel like it is an absolute genius idea for them to make that palette magnetic, because it has a lot of deeper shades, deeper mattes as well as deeper shimmers in the palette. It doesn't have a lot of like lighter tone mattes or lighter shimmers in the palette, and I feel like to make that magnetic and to keep the price point at $45. If you use a coupon code, which I do not have any coupon code with Blend Bunny, but if you use a coupon code, it is gonna come around $40, which I feel like for a Blend Bunny palette, it is an absolute steal. For that reason, it is staying on my wish list. But I also feel if I look at the shades inside, it's a pretty colorful palette, and I pretty much the first thing or the thought that came into my mind is, if you do have the Bella Beauty Bar Bejeweled palette, I feel like the concept is very similar. This is not a magnetic palette is what I believe. I feel like the vibes are pretty same. Like I feel like if you have this palette as well as as well as the Simply Posh Cosmetics Aurora Lights palette. I feel like if you do have these two palettes, you are pretty much covered. Now granted, Aurora Lights palette is magnetic, but this one is not. But it gives a very similar vibes to the Blend Bunny palette is what I feel. Now this is totally my opinion. I totally feel like the eye look that I have going on right now, which I could get like a very similar look out of that Blend Bunny palette. So for that reason, I'm not saying that. I have gone to the Blend Bunny website so many times to just add it to the cart. I'm so restless about that palette because of the packaging. I would feel because of the packaging as well as the magnetic quality. I feel like, you know how much I love mixing and matching, building my own palettes with Blend Bunny palettes. Now, if you do have that palette, you guys let me know, does that palette, magnetic palette, pan size goes into that palette? Can I mix and match it with my Adept Cosmetics pan size? Can I exchange it? Can I like exchange it with my Ensley Rain pans? Can I exchange it with my Unearthly pans? Like, what is the size of that pan, the square pan? I would love to know that, just so that I can think like what shades can I exchange and build my own palette with. You know, I always build my palette. I seriously, I have one palette already built in front of me, which was like duping the vibes of the Bella Beauty Bar Poison Garden palette, because that was intriguing me. Again, it is a very colorful palette, so I placed everything in like this palette, and that's probably how the palette would look if I buy it. So I was like, let me play with it and see how many times am I reaching for it for me to justify that palette. And I have reached out for that palette 2 times after I built that palette, and I built that palette for about a month now. If you want to see that palette video, like how I built, what shades I use, do let me know. I can make a video out of it, but also full disclosure, all the shades that are there in the palette are from Ensley Rain. So that's why I did not want to like just publish it. But let me know if you are interested. I can definitely publish it out. But I feel like build your own palette is such a genius way, especially when I travel. I love to build my own palettes. So that is a quality of that Blend Bunny Beauty Below palette that actually intrigues me the most. I love the concept. I absolutely love the concept, and I really wish that Blend Bunny keeps doing that magnetic palettes at an affordable prices. And I can definitely see myself grabbing for it if a color story appeals to me. But for now, I feel like if I buy that palette, it is as a palette, standalone palette, I might not reach out for it as much, because I am so sure that I would use the mattes, but the shimmer shadows do not appeal to me so much in that palette. That's the only like a thing that pulls me back from that palette. But still, I cannot trust myself in, I might just change my opinion in the next second, because it's definitely, this is the most intriguing thing in my wish list for now. The next thing that is on my wish list is from Titanium Foxes Cosmetics, and this is the Jay's Joy palette. This is a newest palette that they have revealed, and it looks lovely. This is a brand that I want to test out for sure. And this is a palette that doesn't have greens. And if you know me, you know I really do not like greens on me the way it looks on me. I feel like I look like a clown when I wear greens. Not an opinion from everybody, but I feel like that's how I feel when I'm wearing it. Even this look is super loud for me, but I feel like greens is the one that is not my comfort zone. But last year I've used a lot of green shadows in my collection, okay, and I'm getting used to it. There's certain tones of greens that I do not like. Like, I love a good grungy olivey tone green, but I feel like those tealy greens is what like sets me, like seriously makes me like a chicken. But this Jay's Joy palette, it looks absolutely wonderful. I absolutely love it. If you have tried Titanium Foxes palette, and if you are from US, do let me know which site do you go out for to buy the palette, because I don't know which country are they based out of. And if you've tried them, how do you find the quality? What is the brand that like resonates with their formula? Do let me know in the comment section below, because I am very excited for that brand. The next thing that is on my wish list is from Gourmande Girls, and this is the Call of the Siren palette. Now, at the time of I'm filming this, I have not seen the inside of the palette, okay? I've only seen the art cover, and by seeing the art cover, I feel like that palette is going to be gorgeous, okay? Because I feel that's going to be colorful, it's going to be dark, it's going to be mysterious. So obviously we are also getting like Blend Bunny palette also, like a Siren vibe. I don't know if they're going to be similar or not, but let me wait out for it. I am an affiliate with Gourmande girls, and I would love to see if that palette matches with the new Blend Bunny palette or not. And I am very intrigued. I love Gourmande Girls formula so very much. That's not a news to anybody here. I absolutely love them, so they're definitely going in my wish list. So those are the things that are for my February wish list. Now from the January wish list, the things that I want to carry forward and that I'm still thinking about is the ABH foundation. The Impeccable foundation, it's still on my wish list. Going hard, I'm still thinking about it. So I feel like when I'm thinking about a product for a long time, a month, that's a good indication for me to get that product. But again, I have a lot of products that I'm like finishing off in my collection. So I'm definitely, that is in my, still being in my wish list. The next thing that still I'm thinking about is the MAC lipstick in the shade Hodgepodge. And there was one more, which I cannot remember. Oh, Warm Teddy. Warm Teddy? Yeah, Warm Teddy and Hodgepodge is the two matte lipstick shades that I am actually intrigued by. If you do have like a dupe shade for Warm Teddy, do let me know for sure, because I'm definitely intrigued by the shade rather than the formula for Warm Teddy. But Hodgepodge, I feel like, is a very unique shade from MAC's line, which I would love to try. So those are still in my wish list. Let me just skim through the things that were there in my January wish list that can go out. So Bella Beauty Bar Morley Grey palette was in my wish list. That can go out because I've stopped thinking about it. So that can go out. What else was there? That is it. So that can go out, and I'm still thinking about the foundation as well as that lipstick. So that can stay with me for my February wish list. So those were the things that I really wanted to talk about for my FOMO list for February. The only thing that I've purchased so far is the Cheeryup palette, which I'm absolutely loving, and the Fwee blushes that are coming my way. So that's my purchase list for February. I'm holding on strong for February because I feel like so far I've purchased the Adept Cosmetics new Minka palette as well as the Cheeryup palette, and I'm holding myself strong about how we are going about this purchase list. Like 10 to 12 palettes a year, I think, is more than enough that I need in my collection. But that's all for today. Do let me know in the comment section below, what did you purchase for the month of February and what is going in your wish list? What is your top thing that is going in your wish list for February? But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.